Hello and welcome to this overview of the V3D Magic Extract and Append bundle. Instead of making one video for each product in the bundle, I chose to make a single overview video. Thanks to the chapter markers, you can still jump directly to the parts that interest you the most. And of course, if you have any questions, run into any issue or have feedback to share, feel free to join me on the Daz forum, where you can interact with me directly. Installation is very simple. Each product includes an installation script identified by this icon, so that you can launch the script directly from the toolbar. And of course, if you prefer, you can also right-click the scripts and install them into a menu instead. The bundle includes 3 different products, each covering a different workflow. In this video, I will focus on the most common and useful use cases. Let's start with the geometry extraction and append tool, dedicated to figures and props. This tool is useful when you want to load specific elements from scene files, scene subsets, or even directly from product assets. In a typical workflow, you may remember a figure or a prop you already used and liked in a previous scene, maybe because it was already customized, paused, or simply ready to use. Instead of rebuilding everything from scratch, you can extract it directly. And it can also be useful when you make changes you are not happy with and want to recover the original state of an element from an earlier saved scene. In our example, here is an empty street, a bit too empty. I remember here a seaside radar scene I worked on earlier, and I would like to reuse the same bike, either because I do not feel like searching for it again, or because it was already customized or posed the way I wanted. All I have to do is to select that scene and launch the extractor. You can select several scenes. When the extractor is launched, you need to specify if you want to use the selected content library or smart content files. Okay, just like this one, or if you want to browse to file locations. Here I want to use the selected file. And the file is analyzed, and I now have displayed all the elements and all the geometries found in the files. Most of the time, finding the right asset is in the list is quite easy because items from the same product usually share a clear prefix, which is not the case here, but this makes visual sorting much faster, very often. And here we are looking for a bike, motorbike, so here is the road cruiser. I have 2 options. Either I use 0 additional transform, which means whatever is important, its X, Y, and Z translate will be set to 0. And the opposite option is keys the relative scene transforms, the transform which were used here in the original scene. So when I click on load checked into scene, the file is analyzed, the element is extracted, and is reloaded as a scene subset, actually. There is a temporary dev files written in your temp folder, which will be deleted as soon as you close Daz Studio. So our motorbike is here. Let's place it more correctly in front of the camera. Probably here. Okay. And oh, maybe here, and you can see that it is actually posed already. It comes posed. Everything comes with the pose it had and the morph it had. Okay, now I want to add a Genesis figure in the scene. I want this Genesis figure because I love the pose and I love the figure. I don't love the outfit for this scene. So I'm gonna load this figure from this scene. And here I have to find, it's by alphabetical order, so it's Monique 8, okay. And I keep this option checked. What does it mean? It means that if the figure was originally dressed with the outfits parented to the figure, then it will come dressed with its hair and so on. If you uncheck this, whatever happens, the figure will come with eyes, eyelashes, inner mouth, and so on, as long as it's a Genesis figure. So I'm gonna check this. I have to wait because I load a Genesis figure. Maybe I can show you the progress bar. So it's reading the asset loading a Genesis 8 figure. So as you know, if you have plenty of figures, it's a bit longer because it loads all the morphs and so on. And here she is. So now I want another outfit for this figure. I remember that I like this outfit. In general, I undressed the figure before I launched the transfer, but here in the video I will keep the outfit till the end, the previous outfit till the end. So I select the figure first, here, or a bone of this figure. I select this scene, and I find the outfit that I want to load, and just have to click load checked into scene. Here, as a conformer is detected, you can choose use safe poses in order to be able to access the auto fit if it pops. It means that each time a part of the outfit is loaded, you will have a message allowing you to configure the auto fit if you want to. Okay, so now we can delete the previous outfits, and we have the figure. Generally, the only thing you have to handle are the fits, because if the heels differ, you have to adapt a bit the pose of the feet. Okay, so I'm gonna move a bit the left arm because I want to show you something about smart props. Okay, let's move this arm. Okay, let's have a more normal hand. So if I select this Genesis 8 figure and I select a scene where someone is handing a bag which is smart parented, I can do this, find the bag. So here I have this bag, okay, CD bag, and I have to check keep relative scene transform in order that it is well smart parented to the figure. Here we are. So here you have to adjust the hand pose, but the bag is now parented to the figure. It will be the same for all smart props. Finally, another very useful case is when an element exists inside a larger set, but is not available as a separate prop. In this case, this tool allows you to extract and reuse it directly from the original scene or asset file. For instance, here analyze this, and oh, okay, I have my previous scene, never mind. And I am looking for, oh, Love Heart Neon. This would be beautiful. So I load it. it's loaded. I go to the last spot. If you want to find something you just loaded, it's always the last one in the scene. It's super easy. Sorry. Okay. Where is it? Oh, why not actually? This could be nice here. And you load this way the elements you want, which were not initially accessible. Oh, one more thing. The fact that it is not in 0, or look at this, I select it, and its coordinates are 0. Some assets are saved naturally with an offset, and you can't do anything about that. The second tool of the bundle is dedicated to scene setup elements, such as cameras, lights, environment nodes, environment option nodes, tone mapper option nodes, and emissive surfaces. In practice, cameras and scene lights are especially useful when you want to restore a setup after unwanted changes, while emissive surfaces and environment options are often more flexible and easier to use across scenes. So let's have a look at cameras. I'm going in my content library. Okay. Where is it? Okay, this is this original scene. And I have this render that I like with the depth of field I want, everything I want actually. And I make a couple of things in the scenes, I change stuff, I move, and suddenly I realize that I completely lost my settings. So this is very easy. You say that you want to catch the camera that you previously had saved. It's this one, okay. And you can choose several if you want to. You can choose them all if you prefer. And you click on load check into scene. The camera is loaded, is now here, and you find your camera back. And I'm very happy because you cannot imagine how often I lose my super cameras. As you guess, it's approximately the same with scene lights, but I want to show you two options which are especially useful here. Okay, so you have a scene and you start playing with lights and spotlight, and let's change this one for a green, and change the exponent, change the geometry, activate two-sided, well, make changes, and move them too, finally, yeah. Let's go. Sorry, I have to go to perspective view and move this one. Okay, so you made a lot of changes, but finally you regret what you did. Okay, and you want to come back to your initial state, but in the meantime you change the pose of the character and many other things, and you don't want to revert everything. So you simply go in the content library, find your last correctly saved scene, and extract the lights. Here, the scene lights, okay? And here you have those two options. The first one is skip parent hierarchy for faster loading. When checked, the light is loaded in place only if it had no parent, no offset due to a parent in the scene. If the light is parented to something which has an offset, a rotation or something like that, and you want to keep the light in place, then you have to uncheck this in order to load the light exactly in place. And this second option allows you to hide previous lights, making it faster to come back to your previous state. So I have to say that I want to use this file. So it's scanning here. It's a bit longer than what you usually saw for a reason. It's gonna come back, okay, no problem. The reason is that this figure uses only outfit and hair not made for her generation. This is heavy on the files and this is heavy on the load. So I'm gonna load everything and I should come back to my initial light because I hide the previous scene lights. It's loading and up. Okay, here we are. That's done. Emissive surfaces that you can find here work in a very similar way. The main difference is that previous emissive surfaces are not hidden automatically, and only surfacing using high reverber emissive shader setup can be detected and restored. It also covers ghost lights. Now let's go to the two last ones. So environment and tone mapper. Environment option nodes and tone mapper option nodes are loaded as single scene elements and they replace automatically the current ones. This is the main difference with the rest. So in order to exist, your scenes or sealed subsets must have been saved with these two nodes. Otherwise, they simply won't be detected. So let's have a look here, for instance, at this guy walking in a pine forest. So let's say that you want to try other environment options. You can browse your scenes, and as soon as they have such an environment node, you will be able to test them using the little mountains. Yes, that's it. So here I select 4 files, but I will try one file after another. So let's go. Here there is a large scan here, necessarily, because it's a huge scene. Okay, it came back. You have to click somewhere so that it comes back because of this large scene. So here I think the environment was almost off, and probably off. It was probably scene only or something like that, of a very low environment. This will be the heaviest one. Okay, yeah, it must be scene only. I think what I see is the camera. Now I uncheck this. I'm gonna test walk on the beach. This way you can test several environments and you'll see if you want to revert. I like this one. If you want to revert, you have several options. You can undo or this way. Undo. You see, you brought them back, or you can reload your initial environment this way. Up, load, and you have it. Okay, so let's take a rather beach. And we are going to play with the tone mapper. They will all be named environment options, very, very likely. And we are going to play with the tone mapper. So it's here. So let's change, I don't know, the burn highlights, the crush blacks. Okay, the saturation, more. Okay, the gamma, less. Okay, so you changed your tone mapper and you realize that you prefer what was before, or you want to try other tone mappers. So here you can load the tone mappers. It's black and white, you see, the black and white circle icon. And you can load back to one of the tone mappers you preferred. Here you are. So very easy to use, it automatically replaces. It's useless to check several of them because they will successively replace, which makes no sense. And that's all concerning this second product of the bundle. Now let's go to the third product. Let's now move on to the third product of the bundle, dedicated to poses and material properties. It's not limited to Genesis figures. It works with any figure you want. And for material properties, it's simply not limited to figures, but to any prop of the same name and same surfaces you want. So unlike the previous tools, this one does not append new scene element. Instead, it lets you extract pose data or material properties from a saved scene or scene subsets and apply them directly to your current selection. It's especially useful when you want to reuse an existing pose, recover previous material settings, or restore an earlier version of your work. So this is super easy to use. Simply select any bone or your figure in the scene, okay? Select the scenes or scene subsets you want to recover a pose from. I'm gonna select also this one, you know, because it's not compatible and I want you to see the message written when it's not compatible. And you are going to simply use the pose extractor. You see the little guy here. So you analyze the files, okay? So you have two files loaded where the generations correspond, and one file failed because this is a Genesis 9, and you cannot apply Genesis 9 poses to Genesis 8. So here are the poses you can test. So you can test this one. It's computing. Okay. So you see it's the same pose, but seen with the different angle. I wanted to show you both, but here I had to prove that it was the same pose, but with the different angle. And no, not this one, sorry. And you can load this pose, for instance. Yes, I know, failed one. This pose. So it's computing. And here we are. We have the same pose. So you have options when you reload poses. First, let's restore our original pose. So for this, you can restore at any time using a previous saved scene, for instance. Okay. And here, what happens is that there is an option that I haven't shown, is that I'm gonna place my figure here and say that I want to preserve the current location and choose this pose while preserving the current location. All right, let's go. The same way, it's useless to load several poses because they would replace one another, okay? So if you use this option, the figure won't move in the scene, neither vertically nor horizontally. So let's finish with the material properties. So while material properties, because this tool transfers material properties only, it does not replace the shader itself. Launching the script with Alt resets the current shader settings before applying the new properties. And UV sets are not transferred, so they should always be checked manually. In general, this is not an issue, except if you work with pretty old generations. So let's take this scene and let's consider that we've been a little bit too far in the material settings of this figure. We can load a material. Let's take this scene and maybe this one. Okay, we can try different materials. I either revert from a previous scene or using another scene. So this one will be the skin of April. I don't know how you say that. They all rely on the base female UV, so it's gonna be easy, nothing else to do. And we are going to use the material. Okay, she's very pale, and the light is very strong, but it's a correction. So let's take Monique 8 for instance. The wait until you can click OK comes from the fact that sometimes some layered images must be rebuilt. In this case, you can click OK only when they are rebuilt, in general. Okay, and let's take Babina to see. Okay, this one is pretty cool. Okay, this one is probably the best. And of course, you can revert using Undo or using the original scene here. That's always the same principle. Material property transfer is not limited to Genesis figures. It can also be used on props and on figures in general, including clothing, hair, and other compatible elements. For instance, I had made a custom blue outfit with custom maps made in Photoshop for this outfit. So I select it, and I know I used it in this scene. So I select this scene, launch the material property extractor, say that I want to use the selected file. Okay, I have two strike back bodysuits, the red and the blue. If I remember well, the blue was the secondly create. Anyway, you can load one, then the other one. It doesn't matter. So you load checked into scene. Okay, and you got the blue one. We are going to do the same thing for the boots. I think they were blue boots too. I use the selected file. Okay, these are the second boots. And here we are. So you can transfer anything you want. Not only human, but also their outfits, dogs, horses, dragons, general props. Well, that's all. Thank you for your attention. This bundle is designed as a complete workflow tool. It covers geometry extraction and append, scene setup elements, and pose and material property transfer. Together, these three products give you a flexible way to recover, reuse, and restore a wide range of scene content, scenes, subsets, props, without rebuilding everything from scratch. And of course, if you run into an issue or have feedback to share, you can always reach me on the Daz forums. Bye bye!